Hello everyone. Today we're going to do a quick demo of Allstacks Product Studio. Allstacks Product Studio is a product that helps you build really high quality specs and requirements ready for AI or human developers, that helps you deliver product that is grounded in the reality of your code base. So not just greenfield development, but actually software you can integrate into what already exists. It's like if your product manager had full institutional knowledge of the business and technology strategy of your company. So think about this as a kind of Claude cursor-like interface. You start with a prompt. You can do various things that a product manager would want to do. So let's start with a prompt and watch how it plays out. So one of the things that Allstacks does is it integrates really well with Confluence to pull documentation, but we have a bunch of interest in pulling in Notion as an adjunct to Confluence, and so let's see what that would take. So I'm going to say, hey, I want to integrate Notion using Confluence as the analog. What do you think I need to do? So now what Product Studio does, given that prompt, is it says, okay, I understand what's going on. Confluence is a reference model. It's going to come in and understand what Allstacks currently has connected, how it works, and what else have we talked about in the past. It's currently going across and looking at tickets, PRs, Confluence documents, running these searches in parallel, figuring out where all this work is, and helping us understand how to deliver this. While that's going, let me show you what's around here in the product. So you do your work in the chat, but on the right side, we have a bunch of additional capabilities. It will live build out a PRD, live build out tickets. We have a concept called adversarial review, which I'll introduce later. And here we're gathering all the context and evidence that's coming into building this out. So what have we learned so far? We have quite a bit of integrations in Allstacks, including Confluence Cloud. Notion integration, we know that. We know how we're integrating Confluence, documents, wikis, pages, etc., how they're organized, how they fit into the data model, and how this data comes in. So here's what we need to do from a technical perspective, kind of walks us through that, and then it stubs out an epic to start working at it. And with that epic, it's also coming in and updating the overview. Now, the key thing here is that I want to understand what is the actual structure of Notion and how does it differ from Confluence, because I want to reuse software. So let's talk about that. How does the Notion API work, and how does that influence what we can reuse from Confluence versus what we have to build new? As much as possible, we are trying to build this out into something that isn't just writing a whole bunch of code, but we can actually leverage our systems and components, not just write a bunch of greenfield slot. Now we define the scope. We can see what this looks like in a PRD structure, open questions that we need to answer, next steps, and also things that AI agents need to consider. We have it built out into an epic with acceptance criteria, and we can say, let's break this down into tickets and figure out who should be working on it, because we can get in and do refinement and assignment as well. Let's just look at the initial MVP. We have cross-functional teams. We'll pull that in. While this is working, one of the key things that we do in Allstacks is not just help you build it out, but help you cross-examine what you're doing with adversarial review. Since this is an integration vector, one of the things we'll want to make sure is that we do a security review. So we have these agents, and these agents come in and they cross-examine your work to understand where your risks are. And so this is a security attack surface review. So we'll run that as well in parallel to figuring out how the team and the ticket work should go. Now we understand where this fits. We also got a score around security review. we can apply some of these things to fix it. Let's say we'll apply this tenant isolation requirements to the tickets so we can improve the security score. The agent has looked at this suggestion, decided that this is important, applying it as an architecture task, bringing it in as a blocking story, and then adding it to the acceptance criteria. So now that we have all the stories and everything, we'll go ahead and export this to Jira. And we will put this, let's put this into the Arepa project, and let's pull it in as an epic. And then finally, we'll make Jeremy the assignee. And you can see over here that the epic has been brought in and the tickets are pulling through. So in less than 10 minutes, we have built this top to bottom from first idea to the actual Jira epic ready to be picked up by development.